Hello and welcome to Election Brief. And coming up in today's edition, Electoral Commission suspends voter transfer exercise at Akuffo in the Bono Ahafo region following violent clashes between NPP and NDC supporters. We'll hear from the Commission and the police. Also, a desperate act to be taken seriously or a genuine move to give real meaning to politics of inclusiveness. We'll bring you details and analysis as flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party reaches out beyond his party to woo members of other political parties. And later in the program, the politics of manifesto ideas continues unabated as NPP flag bearer hits out at the governing NDC following the launch of their manifesto. We'll hear from him as well as the NDC. All this and more on your election headquarters here, Joy News channel on Multi TV. Stay with us for the next 20 minutes. I'm Arba Kumson. Now, it appears the mounting tension in the Sunafo South district of the Bono Ahafo region won't go away anytime soon. In fact, it's actually escalating because the Electoral Commission has suspended the voter transfer exercise at Akuffo following violent clashes between some supporters of the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party. The exercise was suspended after the office of the NPP in the area was invaded by men believed to be supporters of the governing NDC. Last week, the exercise was hampered after similar clashes between supporters of the two parties. And only yesterday, clashes at Sankore left some supporters with injuries. Officials of the Electoral Commission in the Bono Ahafo region say some electoral logistics were destroyed in the process. We've been speaking to Deputy Head of Communications at the EC, Yusuf Ayuba, on the extent of damage and what the Commission intends to do moving forward.
The vandalism, caused a lot of damage in our offices, and the VSAT system that we use in doing all these voter transfer and all, the voter management software that we use. That system has been vandalized. The equipment in the office, including laptops and other equipment, have been vandalized. So as we speak, the exercise has been suspended, and my report has been made to the chairperson of the commission.
When you say it's been suspended, do we know for how long this will take, considering the number of days we have before Election Day?
We need to install a new equipment and the satellite and the VSAT system in the office before we can continue with the transfer. I'm not sure what modalities have been put in place. A report has been made to the Commission. The Commission will study the report, and based on it, the Commission would make a recommendation as to what next action or step we should take.
If this is the action of two political parties, those who want the voter transfer done are citizens, people who want to vote. Is there an option to, for instance, move this exercise to another community and have the people go there to have this done?
I'm sure the Commission will do that determination in a very short while. I don't know what the outcome of the decision of the Commission would be. But then, like you said, people genuinely would want to transfer their votes. An alternative provision would be made for such persons to be able to transfer their votes within the period that we stipulated for them to do so.
Is the Commission aware, has any figures of how many individuals in that part of the Bono Ahafo region want their votes transferred?
After the time the incident happened, 16 people had successfully transferred their votes, and a number of them were in the queue. It's not possible for the Commission to be able to determine the numbers because it's not specific. As and when somebody wants to transfer his or her vote, then the person would come to the office. So currently the exercise is suspended, and we hope that we can either install a new equipment or transfer such persons to another, district to be able to do their transfers. But as we speak currently, they put the whole exercise on hold because the officers
has been vandalized. Okay, but sorry, Mr. Iba, something just came to mind. What was the security arrangement you had in place for this exercise at Akuffo?
No, nobody could anticipate what happened in Akuffo, but I am told that when the incident happened, the police was called in, to make sure that they keep the place in order. But in the night, there was a police guard there with our security officer, but the number of persons who came there, they could not contain the situation, so they had to, flee for their lives. And reinforcement, by the time the reinforcement came, they had already, vandalized the place and run away.
So that's Deputy Head of Communications at the EC, Yusuf Ayuba there. Let's go on the line and speak to Sergeant Samson Bande. He's acting PRO of the police service in the Bono-Ahafo region. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So tell me, what information have you picked up with regards what may have sparked the violence?
Okay. I greet all your listeners across the country and beyond. A group of strong men, popularly called macho, believed to have come from Sankore on Thursday, 15 September 2016, at midnight, led by some youth from Kukum, who showed reckless disregard for peace, went to the NDC constituency office as Nafu Sub-District Assembly office, the District Electoral Commission office, and destroy items in the offices. Now, the items being destroyed, among other things, are a satellite dish and desktop computers and its accessories, cell cabinets, cupboards, executive tablets, office tablets, plastic chairs, calculators, motorcycles, tabletop fridge, photocopier machine, and louver blades. Now, however, as I'm talking to you now, the value of the items are not yet known. And also, the two night watchmen were attacked and beaten mercilessly. The two are Abraham Danko, age 42 years, and Kwaku Farouk, age 40 years, of the Electoral Commission and the District Assembly offices, respectively.
Sergeant, if you say night watchmen, are they members of the police service?
Yes, this night watchmen who are civilian, but a policeman, an armed police guard was also detailed.
Okay, so it's the norm that police officers are stationed at, stations where exercises like this are being undertaken, correct?
Yes.
And we understand that that particular district, Isunafo South, is quite volatile, and there are fears that violence may, erupt again. What is the police doing to avert further clashes?
Yes, as I'm talking to you now, the regional command, even though already we had some patrol teams there already, but since this issue has happened, they have beefed up the number by sending more men there to always be on the lookout to check this criminal activity.
Has anyone been arrested in connection with the violence?
But in fact, as I'm talking to you now, nobody has been arrested. But I can tell you that the police intelligence is on the ground to fish out any criminal that has caused this problem.
Very well. Many thanks for your time. And that's Sergeant Samson Dante. He's the acting PRO of the police in the Bono-Ahafo region. Now, when it comes to politics, it's always about the numbers, as political pundits would say, and one politician who has had to fight that perception for his party does not have the numbers to put together a formidable government is the flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, Dr. Papakwesi Indum. He's been opening his arms literally to embrace members of other political parties into his fray. While addressing a rally at Nima over the weekend, he called on second vice chairperson of the Convention People's Party, Susana Edu Amankwa, former NPP flag bearer aspirant Professor Frimpong Boateng, and entrepreneur Dr. Kofi Adams, who is with the CPP, to join a PPP government come 2017, saying the call was in line with the PPP's belief in an all-inclusive government. Watch.
Progressive People's Party, we are inclusive in nature. It doesn't matter whether you are from the north or the south, you are Christian, you are Muslim, you went and supported NDC, MPP, CPP, BNC. When we come to power and we want somebody to do something, if you are the right person, we'll give the job to you so that Ghana can benefit. So that Ghana can benefit. So there are some people. There are some people in Ghana. There are some people in Ghana. I want to call them. I'm standing here to call them to come and work together with us. I want to ask Susana CPP, she should come and join us. She should come and join us. She should come and join us. Dr. Kofi Adams, he is an independent. He should come and join us. He should come and join us. There is a man, there is a doctor who is an excellent Ghanaian, a patriotic Ghanaian, Dr. Frimpong Boateng. He should come and work with us. He should come and work with us. We want everybody to come and work with us. Whether you are NDC, MPP, CPP, BNC, all of you come together, work with the Progressive People's Party so that this country can benefit. We want inclusiveness. That is what we want. That is what the Progressive People's Party, that is what we want.
Well, we've been speaking to Susana Mankwa. She tells Joy News she will be willing to serve the country irrespective of the party in power.
He says that PPP, they believe in inclusiveness, and that when they come into power, they will include everybody. It doesn't matter whether you've been NDC, MPP, CPP, and that is why he's calling upon us. I don't find it a strange thing that he is, if he believes in an inclusive government. I have always advocated that the winner takes all doesn't really help us much, where all power is concentrated with the president and he's appointing everybody and their mama. And I think that there should be more devolution and more decentralization and more openness.
But will you be willing to join the Progressive People's Party, that is if they win the election and he does extend the call to you?
I am willing to work for this country because politics, you then get an opportunity to do public service. And so, why not? I will do it. It doesn't matter who calls me. Once I think that I am capable of executing that task to the best of my ability, why not?
So is this a desperate attempt by the PPP to rope in respected personalities into its fold, to be taken seriously as a political party, or is it just harmless? We're joined on the line by the PPP's policy advisor, Kofi Adams. Many thanks for your time, Mr. Siao. Tell us, why is, we heard Dr. Indum already saying that this is part of the party's all-inclusive policy, but really, isn't it just to cover up the fact that he really doesn't have the bigwigs or the respected personalities that can attract the needed votes?
Well, thank you very much, Araba. It's not the case that we don't have the bigwigs or we don't have personalities in the PPP, and that is why we are going out and calling for other people to join us. What we are doing is to leave our principle of inclusiveness, where we are saying that the fact that you belong to a political party is not enough license or basis for you to serve in government. Members of political parties have different roles that they will play. They have different expertise. But if there is somebody in another party or in in Ghana, and the person is not partisan, and he or she has some expertise, and he is the best person positioned to do a particular job, we will call on that person to work with. And to do with our commitment to the fight against corruption and transparency and the kinds of things we have done and we have said we will do to pursue that objective, this is also one example to leave those principles even when we don't have the opportunity to be in government. So in our case, when we talk about inclusiveness, it is not that you go into an alliance with a political party, one or two members from that party come to serve in the administration, and it's inclusiveness. No. We've also expanded inclusiveness to give power to the people to choose their own district chief executive. So, for example, the president under a PPP administration will not be interested to be appointing district chief executives as we have it today, or even do the one that President Mahama is proposing, that even the candidate of that election, he will select them. So this goes to reinforce the belief that we have held in the past, and we still hold, that we need other people. Of course, somebody like Professor Frimpong Boateng, everybody knows he's a member of the MPP, but he's a Ghanaian first and foremost, and he's a heart-searching professional one at that. Somebody like that, we shouldn't use partisanship and keep him away from our health sector and so on and so forth. So many of those people, we have a lot of lists that we will put out there in the coming days.
But Mr. Siao,
people that, yes.
Now, Dr. Indu made the call at a political rally. Has he actually reached out in person to them?
Well, I think he has done that. It will be absurd that the people may not be aware that such a desire is being entertained by the Progressive People's Party.
And what has the response been?
Well, I think the people are welcoming the idea. You see, what we are trying to push is to have a crusade of Ghanaian citizens to step onto the plate, irrespective of their political party, to work for this country.
All right,
so
but in the case of, I'm sorry to cut you, but in the case of Dr. Frimpong Boateng, what was his response?
Well, I'm not in a position to tell what his response has been, but we have been contacting a lot of people, including him. But like I said, he's the patriot son of this country, and he has done something beyond politics, and it's not difficult from what we see for Dr. Frimpong Boateng to respond to such a call. I'm sure he's bigger than his political party. The skills he has and the intellect and the understanding and the progress and the vision he has for this country goes beyond his membership of the New Patriotic Party. So if today the PPP has a set of policies and programs that can transform this country, it's something that is not difficult for Professor Frimpong Boateng to come on board and accept the call for him to join forces with the Progressive People's Party.
All right. Many thanks for your time. That's Kofi Adams. He's a policy advisor of the PPP. Meanwhile, political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Evans Chakradhar, says the call by the PPP flag bearer has the potential to put him across as a unifier to electorate.
So what Akuffo is seeking to do is to present himself as a unifier, and as somebody who is not just going to be concerned with distributing the largesse or the spoils of power for his party members, but he's also interested making sure that the distribution cut across, and perhaps will defy, political, strict political ideologies and so on. That's another dimension maybe we may have to look at it. It is also important that if he even wins the presidency, I doubt if he will be able to garner the numbers in terms of the parliamentary seats that he will really need to be able to satisfy the minimum requirement of constituting a government. That means that he will have to depend on others, and that is why he's giving an indication. So the idea that he's saying that, look, we are likely to recruit from outside the immediate confines of our party, perhaps will present him as a winnable individual. Because what people also are looking for is somebody who can also unify the country, but not just distributing resources.
So that's a political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Evans Chakradhar. Now, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akuffo Addo, has described the governing National Democratic Congress as a confused party that lacks clarity on the source of ideas for the manifesto. According to Nanado, some leaders of the NDC, in the attempt to deny copying ideas from the MPP, ended up acknowledging that indeed the MPP had good ideas for Ghana's development at the party's manifesto launch. Speaking at a rally in Kaas on Sunday, Nana Akuffo Addo implored Ghanaians to vote for the MPP in the December polls to move the country away from what he terms as the confused governance of the NDC.
Bronga Hafu, a region, you can't brofuma, almost a swing region. Nanso Jumapa, in the last few years, Yawa Benumuno, Ene, Yetumisi, Yewakade, Bronga Hafu are swinging in favor of NDC very seriously. Ezuzu, Enyanom, Yenim, walk around now we hear Ghana. Wow, Bedi Dasede, in Puntu Akesia, Akosu or Mine Ghana, no. We.
So that's the NDC campaign coordinator, Kofi Adams, there speaking at the launch of the party's manifesto in Sunyani. We can now hear Nana Akuffo Addo.
As a one of yours, NDC Focus, Sunyani, Siakwa or manifesto. Yawako, national organizer. It's been a law. Yamapari manifesto no more. One year contribution can create the amano. Manifesto pay for the Bakubaya, as well just added here. Now, of you, no one can horse India. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my police said that you are so manifesto the crowd of the show. Hey, manifesto Bakuna confusion about say. I don't see that I can avoid you. I don't know how many other things I have to say. Manifesto, you will try. Hey! The confusion said to me back. That was small matter, not small matter, but on a simple issue like a manifesto. I made them confuse them about my own. You have a trust here.
So that's MPP flag bearer Nana Akuffo Addo there. And speaking of the NDC manifesto launch in Sunyani, a lot of things happened over the weekend there at the manifesto launch, including, watch this.
NDC. 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 NDC.
And that's what's referred to as Ababase. It's trending all over social media. You can get more of this on The Pulse with Francis Aban, which is coming up in a few minutes. In the meantime, that's how we wrap up the show. My name is Araba Kumsin. Stay tuned, same time tomorrow for Election Brief.